Well, it's time now to answer your legal questions, so be sure to call us at 256-536-0077. Michael Timberlake with our friends at Timberlake League and Brooks is joining us. Michael, thanks for being here.
It's always great to be here.
Well, today we're talking about the Alabama's new environmental law. So what do people need to know?
Yeah, I mean, this one's a real head scratcher. So Alabama has just enacted and the governor has signed a controversial environmental bill that basically gives up the state's rights to enact laws that are more stringent than the federal government. These are laws that states across the union have enacted to protect their environment, their particular ecosystems, their particular natural areas. And for some reason, Alabama lawmakers have decided they want to give up that right to enact these laws. And basically what the new law says is that the state cannot do anything that's more restrictive or more environmental friendly than is allowed by the Environmental Protection Agency, the federal government.
Yeah.
So it's really, when you're talking about states having more rights, this is states voluntarily giving up rights to protect the environment and their citizens.
Well, it's interesting because, Alabama is one of the most environmentally diverse states in the nation.
Absolutely.
Which most people don't realize that because, when you think of environmental diversity, you don't think of Alabama most of the time, but it is. We have a lot of different ecosystems here in the state. So, and we actually do have a caller.
Right. Hey,
Mr. Charles, what's your question?
Hello?
Hi there.
Hey.
Yes.
What's your question, Charles?
Yes. I was wondering, I have a roommate. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I have a roommate that went in my room, and I was wondering if there's any legal thing I could do to him.
The question is, if you're, in a situation where you're sharing a household, the question is, do you have a right of privacy, or is there a, invasion of privacy for that type of circumstances? I would tend to doubt it. Obviously, if there was something that was locked, that might be a different story. Or if he was filming you in your room illegally, but just going into a shared or occupied dwelling, a room in an occupied dwelling, probably doesn't amount to invasion of privacy under Alabama law.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that wonder about that.
Yeah, exactly. There was some interesting news story about a politician that was charged with a criminal action for some action that he had somebody in his house that was caught on video.
Yeah.
So it can happen, but in this situation, probably not.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you, Mr. Charles. We appreciate it. But yeah, it's a very diverse state. We've got a lot of ecosystems. So
sure.
Yeah,
they call the Delta in Mobile, the Nile, the United States, the Paint Rock has some of the most diverse areas, the Bankhead Forest, the Talladega Forest, Tuskegee. There's just natural areas all over Alabama, and why our politicians decided to give up the right to protect those areas is insane. For example, so you've got glyphosate, which is what we call Roundup. That's a chemical that's used in farming, and it's used to, as an herbicide, but it is determined to be, cancerous. So the people that make it have voluntarily offered a $7.5 billion settlement to try to resolve claims for people that have cancer as a result of this dangerous chemical. But the EPA, the federal government, still allows it to be in use. Now, it's currently under reconsideration, but the EPA allows it. So under this new Alabama law, because it's allowed by the EPA, even though the manufacturer is trying to pay billions of dollars to settle these claims, Alabama cannot pass laws to make it illegal or to restrict its use in our state.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
It's just incredibly regressive for our state.
Yeah, especially when we are Alabama the Beautiful. Then most of that is from our culture and as well as our ecosystems that we have.
Regardless of where people are on the political spectrum, Alabama has always been a state We have Forever Wild programs. We have land trust programs. We have nature conservancy. We have riverkeeper programs. We have always done everything we can to protect our environment, and this basically just gives it away.
Well, that's very interesting. And of course, I'm sure people can find more about this on y'all's blog.
Absolutely. There's a blog about this, and if you have concerns about it, contact your legislatures and tell them that you don't agree with it.
Well, thank you, Michael. We appreciate it. And if you didn't get your questions answered, you can be sure to text 256-536-0077. This is all thanks to our friends over at Timberlake, Lee & Brooks. Thank you again.
Thank you.